Hi, everybody.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It's been a long day. I'm tired.
Are you in a bad mood?
No.
Oh.
No. I could get in a bad mood though.
What, for the fun of it?
Just for the fun of it. To explore it.
We're going to talk about how your superstition came true.
What's superstition?
The superstition when I said last week that our relationship was in a really good place, and you said I shouldn't say that.
Oh yeah. And it all went pear-shaped, didn't it? The following day, tempted fate.
Well, what's interesting is I actually didn't have a very bad day the next day, but you were having a harder time.
Yeah, as I recall, and I can't even actually remember what time of day this happened exactly. I do recall being in a bit of an unsavory mood in the earlier part of the day, or certainly the morning, and then being.
But you weren't getting on board with it.
No, I wasn't getting on board. I was actually aware of it, and I decided not to play ball. And it was actually quite interesting to be so cognizant of it and not engage in any way, and what probably would be normal triggers. I just ignored them.
I was really impressed.
But you didn't even know I was in a low mood, did
Yeah,
you?
you let me know you were in a low
Oh,
mood.
I did?
Mm-hmm. You even gave me warning that you were in a low mood.
I did.
Run for cover.
And then I guess there was a blind spot that took me by surprise, and I think that it was partly to do with the fact that you were on a phone call, and our youngest daughter had come up to me and said, can she have a ride somewhere, when you already told her that she couldn't, based on some behaviour.
Based on being grounded.
Based on some behaviour modification that was in play. And she had told me that you said it was okay, and that wasn't the case. And so you called me during this journey over to the place that she wanted to be driven to inform me that that was something that I shouldn't have done, and kind of I was inclined to think that I was on the receiving end of some pretty judgmental I was on the receiving end of some pretty serious judgment from you, as far as I was concerned, around my decision to drive her over there, based on the fact that you told her not to. But I feel like I was the innocent party in all this, because I took it at face value. I just assumed.
Wait, we had an agreement.
We had an agreement, but I believed youngest daughter when she told me that you said it was okay.
I made a unilateral decision to break the agreement.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
And so anyway, so there was that, and then there was also the fact that I had been played, which I didn't like. And I think that the realization of that, coupled with your angst, kind of set me off.
But it was kind of like one of those, I don't know, firework that's got a really bright spark but fizzles out really quickly.
Really?
Wouldn't you say?
Like a Catherine wheel?
I don't know what they're called. It was like a strong, bright spark, but it didn't last.
It was like a banger.
Is that what that is?
It's a banger, yes.
I don't know the names of fireworks.
They're
We're
banger.
not allowed to have them here.
No, you can't. Well, I guess they're illegal.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of a funny story.
What's your funny story?
So I used to share a studio, as you know, with a couple of photographers in London, and I guess we were all three of us pretty childish fellows, and there was one day when we're all three of us in our office adjacent to the studio, and the phone rang, and it was this person who I'd been trying to avoid. And I just kind of picked up the phone absent-mindedly. In those days, you didn't have the luxury of being able to see
Caller ID.
Caller ID. And so it was this person who I really didn't want to speak to, and it was a really awkward conversation that I was about to have. So I quickly turned over to my right to turn off the stereo, which is above my friend Adrian's desk. And this stereo had a kind of glass front to it. It was like a glass front to it.
Like in a cabinet?
It was a sort of cabinet style stereo system.
And who were you speaking to?
I can't say who I was speaking
Oh,
to.
okay. Confidential.
It's confidential.
Got it.
But it was a very awkward conversation that was about to go down. And so I went to turn the stereo off, and that exact moment, the other photographer, my good friend Neil, threw a banger, which is a small firework, which actually
like a firecracker?
Yes, a firecracker, which are illegal in England, but you can buy them in France. And for whatever reason, I guess on his previous visit to France, he had bought some of these, he'd smuggled some of these illegal fireworks into England. He'd thrown it up in the air, and it blew up in my right ear. And what made matters worse is that I saw the reflection of the firework blowing up in the glass. So it was perfectly timed. So as soon as I touched the stereo, the banger blew up. I saw the reflection. I actually thought the stereo had blown up. And so I dropped the phone and jumped and landed on the floor.
Like,
thinking there was like an RIA bomb going off or something. IRA bomb going off or something. And to which my studio mates thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen.
Did it help the conversation?
No, it didn't help the conversation at all.
Thought it might have broken the ice.
Made it 10 times worse.
Oh no. Oh well.
Anyway, I digressed. I don't know if we made a point in all that, but I would say that that it was probably quite. It was, but despite the fact that you tempted fate and we had a little bit of, we kind of. I guess I got my sword out. We didn't lock swords because I guess you didn't get yours out. But I had a moment where I got out of balance, hit a blind spot, and but I quickly came out of it.
Yeah.
That's progress.
I would say pretty unscathed.
Yeah. Maybe 5 minutes or so. Actually, I think I remember saying, I can't talk to you now. I need to settle down. I'll talk to you when I settle down.
Yeah.
I think you let me go.
Yeah.
In the past, you would have just carried on.
I didn't hold you hostage.
You didn't hold me hostage.
Well, have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.